Hey guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Joseph. In today's video, I'm here with Cassandra. We're going to be moving around in this small studio apartment to see if we can put some sequences together. So we're going to use the APUTURE 300d. That's the only light source we're going to be using for all the different scenes that we're hoping to capture today. The first one is going to be of her sleeping. She's going to wake up. Her alarm is going to wake her up, so she's going to stop it, and then we'll move to some other scenes. We'll see how we can relight that. But I want you guys to pay attention to the way we're going to be moving the light around to light our subjects and to draw attention to the things that we want you guys to focus on or to happen in the frame. So first thing is we have to turn off all the lights in here so that we know that it's only LED light that is going to be lighting our scene. So could you just turn that off for me? Okay. So we don't have any color casts, nothing in the frame. Can you turn around so they see the TV and then they see where she is and then what we are trying to do. So when we got in here, the TV is just opposite where the bed is, and it was already on and it was causing some flicker right here. And because it's like a morning show, I wanted to be like maybe she was watching the TV and she fell asleep. So we're going to use the aperture light to mimic the TV scene because we don't want to use the light from the TV to light her up. So I'm going to go into the Sliders link app. I'm going to go to Effects and I'm going to click on the TV. I want the frequency to be high, so I'll drag that up, and also the intensity of the light. We'll figure that out. I'm going to press Start and you can see it's already flickering. I'm going to increase the intensity a little bit. So you can see that it's creating or recreating like the flickers that you get from a TV if it's on. All right, so what I'm going to do now is just make sure that my exposure is the way I want it to be. All right, I'm also shooting on the Canon EOS R6 and it's hooked up to the Atomos Ninja V. That is going to be my main monitor. All right, okay, so this is going to be the frame. It's also going to be a top-down frame. And because this is like I can flip the screen in any direction, I can just hand hold this and then just take the shot. It's also going to be for like some brief seconds. So hand holding it with the IBIS on is going to give me quite a steady shot, but I want it to look a bit realistic. So if there's movement, I don't mind. All right, so this is the setup. Currently, I think the light is a bit too bright, so maybe I'll just turn it off away from our subject, so that light is going to be a bit indirect. It's going to bounce off the wall before lighting our subject. All right, okay, I'm also going to be shooting at 60 frames because I may want to, you know, slow-mo some parts later on. So the entire sequence that we're taking today is going to be shot in 60 frames. Also, I'm not going to keep the frame where it is. I'll just bring the camera down a little bit. So starting. All right, now you can just move a little bit. Yeah, perfect. That's fine. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so for our next scene, what I want to do is I want to light from the left, so I'm shooting to the shadow part of her just to get contrast in the frame. And maybe I'll just open up the shadows with the white side of the reflector. So I just want to show you how it looks without the reflector. So I can bring the reflector in. Yeah, right now it's in the frame, so just a little bit off. Okay. So let me press record so they'll see what's happening. So take out the reflector and then bring it back. Yeah, you can see it's just adding a little bit of light into the shadows. Okay, so now we're going to do the actual take. So this is supposed to be our end frame where she's snacking on the biscuit, but because we already started on the bed, we just relit the scene so that we can just get away with the bed shots and we don't have to come to the bed anymore. All right, so this is the angle that I want to take it from. So what you can do is with your legs, you can just maybe raise it up and then just be moving it a little bit as well. All right, currently I'm at ISO 1000 and shutter speed 1/125 and f2.8, and the reason is because I'm shooting at 60 frames. Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so she's still going to be doing the same thing, and I'll just move around and get some detail shots. So maybe her hands, get close up of her face and stuff like that. Okay, so now I just want to your hand action. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So now we're in the bathroom and it's a very small, tight space. So my plan to do this is, because I still want to get direction and because I want to shoot into the shadow part of the frame, I'm rather lighting this way. And through the light here, it's going to bounce off this gray wall. So it probably isn't going to bounce white light back. So we're going to hold this reflector here and then just look for the part where I'm able to redirect the light back here. So I'm going to go into the opposite side of where she is and I'll be shooting towards the light, and that should add some contrast to the frame. So that's the setup for here, and she's just going to open the tap and wash and rinse her hands basically, and then that's it. We're done with this shot. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so action. Okay, so for our next scene, I wanted to pick a drink from the fridge, and looking at the environment, the only light source that we have presently here is this light up here, and I don't want to use this to light the scene. It's not directional, it's right above her, so all the shadows are pointing straight down, but I want to bounce the light rather into the corner and then let it come back and then light. So again, we are doing backlighting. Okay, so I'm going to turn this off and I'll turn on the aperture light. Okay, so we can see that I'm bouncing the light into this part of the room, and that is just going to light my subject from behind, and I'm shooting into the shadow part just so I can create depth and add contrast to the frame. All you're doing is just opening the fridge and then picking your drink and walking across. Yes. Okay, 3, 2, 1, action. So we are cheating again. So in the first shot, which was picking the drink from the fridge, you noticed I bounced the light in the corner because there was no other way for me to modify the light. But right now, because all I want her to do now is just pour the juice into the cup, I still want to keep that same backlight. So we are pretending as if it's this light from the top that is lighting our scene. But because it's a close-up shot, we can cheat. So I moved the light, brought it in towards her so I can get a soft light, and then I'm just diffusing it with this scrim right here. So it's gonna create a highlight from the opposite side of where I'll be shooting, and I'm shooting from here. So you can see we're getting very nice light on the utensils in the back, and then we're also getting that nice light coming in from behind her, and then we have her hands in focus, and then we're shooting in the shadow part, just adding contrast again. You can see we're maintaining the same light throughout the scene, and it's working really, really well. So 3, 2, 1, action. She's just going to walk into the frame. Yes, perfect. Awesome. Okay, pause, action. You can see all I did was just come a little closer to get like a closer shot of the pouring. That's fine. So for our last scene, she's just, sitting at the table having juice and some biscuits, but my lighting is still the same. I'm shooting to the shadow side of the frame and my light is coming in hot, so I just decided to soften it with the scrim. Now my scrim is really close to her just so I can get the light to be bright and still very, very soft. Action.